Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best, you gotta show me son. Actions over words, baby boy, is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come back. Sports, talking way too much, world come back. Sports, talking way too much, world come back. Sports.
In the building, Sean News, the Sauce Experience, aka Showtime Shaw, is on deck. Let's get it. Hot Grease WCS Sunday, yes sir. Team Tucker official. You already know, jumpstarting this Sunday. What's good, everybody? We back for another one. Bold and understanding in the building. Salute WCS. A lot of these PBC fighters are all cap. They tell people to do things they won't even do themselves. That's just bold, and I understand it. I get it, man. I get it, bro. I get it. Big Blunts and Boxing is in the building. Salute WCS. A lot of these PBs. I mean, what's the word, family? Salute to everyone. What's the deal, combat? How you feeling? What's good? What's good? Salute to you. Appreciate you asking, man. You know what I'm saying? The GOAT is on deck, man. We just jumpstarting this Sunday. You know how we do. You know what I'm saying? Drove up to a boxing card 3.5 hours one way up the Rock Hill. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Laced Up Boxing Promotions. Had a 14 fight card. A 14 fight card, man. Damn good boxing card. Over there in the event center in Rock Hill. Man, shout out to my boy Anthony. Man, damn good card. Got to see some hands ringside. Smooth running. No bullshit. Straight get in. Do your job. You know what I'm saying? Put them on the shutterbug. Frame them. And get it stepping. You know what I'm saying? Saw some real good fights in there, man. Both male and female fights. I mean, real good fights. Shout out to the main event, Craig Parker. Craig Parker is a up-and-coming light heavyweight. Went in there and put on another show. Stopped the guy who never been stopped before. This dude have 15 wins and 15 knockouts. Beast of a puncher. You know what I'm saying? Good guy all around. Real good guy. Be sure to check out his IG. His name is Craig Parker. But yeah. The fight card ended like 11:30 and I drove all the way back home, then get back to like 3:30 in the morning, man. It's not something I would advise anybody to do, coming off a fight card, trying to drive home like that, because I can understand why they have crosses on the side of the street. I do. I understand why they have crosses on the side of the street. That's all I can say about that. Thinkers think, what's good? In the building. Salute WCS in the chat. Salute to you, brother. I like how Comeback didn't put sport. He put business. Box has shown us all about the business, not the sport. Man, we're going to get into that, man. We're going to get into that. Real talk, we're going to get into that. Carlos Rosado is in the building. What's good with it, Carlos? Salute to your brother. WCS salute. Yes, sir. We on deck with it. Another one. Had to come back on a Sunday and put this hot grease out there because God never told me I couldn't cook on a Sunday. I ain't never heard that growing up. You know what I'm saying? That's when the best meals were on a Sunday. You know what I'm saying? You have family. Hey, we going over so and so house. They cooking dinner. Oh, that was the best back then. Grandma, you know what I'm saying? That was the best. Leaving church and going over grandma's house because she's cooked. She cooked for everybody. Man, that was the best, man. Real talk. Arnold Brown on deck. Salute to you, brother. WCS A Side Official. You already know. Since we on the topic, shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game. A Side, A Side, A Side, A Side Official. Yes, sir. You know how we coming. The hottest in the MFing game. You need to know it. Yes, sir. Rebel is in the building. WCS, salute my guy. Team Bud, Team Shakur, salute to you. Rebel is on deck. Yeah, we're going to get in it, man. We're going to get in it. Yes, sir. They don't want the business. I mean, they don't want that Bud Stevenson smoke. Man, I don't know what they want anymore. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what they want, but we're going to try to figure it out. Toby Bartlett is in the building. Salute WCS in the chat. We're global, baby. We're global. Yes, sir. Respect to the best and the hottest chat on the YTC. What's good? I never say YTBC, Toby. It's no such thing. To me, it's no such acronym. I mean, this community is just collectively a group of individuals that have platforms that choose to take on certain agendas. If it was a boxing community, they wanted to strictly talk about boxing and they want to orientate it around that. I'm fine with it. I'm down with it, right? But this isn't that, bro. Like, to me, it isn't that. It's just a lot of people that pick certain topics that is going against the grain about something. You know what I'm saying? Something. It has to go against the grain. And most of the time, it's not even really dealing with boxing. It's just all the little fine details, man. You know what I'm saying? The little small things that rub people the wrong way. They think it's about boxing, but no, it's really about personal shit. It's really about people getting upset and feeling some type of way, man. You know what I'm saying? About a specific fighter. Sunday dinner, no doubt, no doubt. Shanu said they gave Frank Martin a pass for running from the contract. These pro PBC channels. You know, Frank Martin, you know, it comes a time and a place, brother. I try my damnedest. Like I told my listeners, I said, check this out. I actually like Frank Martin because you know how, speaking of the YTBC, so to speak, right? You know how you have certain people on here that are dislike a fighter just because he associated with another fighter. That's the shit I'm talking about. That ain't boxing. That ain't boxing. That's just you being a sheep. That's you. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much that's what it is. So I try not to do that because Frank never gave me a reason to dislike the man. Until now. Oh my God, dog. We got to talk about what you doing. What you doing, bro? What you doing? Somebody got with you and told you about the business? Somebody told you how destructive the business can be, and you're finding out in retreat. This is the wrong way to get put on notice, bro. When it comes to boxing business, most of the time you want your name to be put on notice for doing the right thing and making that money. But what comes around goes around, man. Sometimes I don't want to talk about that bitch, man, but she shows up whenever she freaking feels like it. Seriously, real talk. I done checked her so many times and she still shows up and she don't care. She act like she has a open room. You know what I'm saying? She has a freaking unlimited freaking season pass to just show up when the fuck she want. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get to it, bro. NYT is in the building. What's good with it? What's good, my brother WCS? Salute to you, brother. I see you. Nick Rich on deck in the building. That's what Shakur Stevens was talking about with the media. No, hey, one thing, look, Toby, one thing, that's just me. You can put whatever you want. If you feel it's a YTBC, that's you, bro. I'm not instructing you on how to word anything. I'm just saying I never mentioned it. I even did like lives on the YTBC back in the day on how it was dead. And it really doesn't exist because you don't have a union internal to this platform. You don't have individuals that's willing to talk this boxing. You know what I'm saying? Collectively as a group, they always trying to pick certain pockets and form certain type of freaking squads and everything and just go on a mission to tear down fighters. That's not boxing. That's more like TMZ. That's like, let me start up a gossip column. You know what I'm saying? Let me be the inquirer. That ain't boxing because they busy trying to find out ways to report on a fighter that's breaking them down, that's off topic. You know what I'm saying? They have a bad performance. It goes from the ring into their household. They talking about how the person was raised, but they didn't do good in life, the problems that they got, and all this other shit. It never stopped, bro. Carlos said, "No, it's no problem, Toby, man. You already know, man, what it is, man. We solid." Carlos said these dudes act like they laugh. Their dudes act like they lost their puppy. No, you lost your money, and you lost your pride. You lost your bragging rights, and you lost your mind two times undisputed, but took the rights to start the season. Bud took the rights to start the season. Strap season. Okay. Bud took the rights to strap season. Hey, man, you ain't lying on that. Absolutely, he took the rights to strap season. He had to go through a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, of the gravel roads, as I love to put. He had to go through the rough terrain, but he did it. You know what I'm saying? Showtime says, salute Toby Bartley, UK Team Tucker official, boxing business, army. Yes, sir. No doubt. Jason said the ghost done ghosted the boogeyman. Mm, mm. So let's try to get down to what we talked about with Shakur Stevenson. This guy right here, I call him the emperor back. I did. I still had a thumbnail up. I consider Shakur Stevenson the emperor because, truth be told, Shakur is going to leave this sport as a 5-division champion. Minimal, y'all. Shakur Stevenson's mindset, he's going to leave this sport as a 5-division champion. Real talk. He's going to be a champion 35, 40, and 47. Watch what I tell you. It's easy work. What division he decide, if he chooses to try to go for an undisputed run, it'd be up to him. But that's not even about that. I want to turn Shakur on to a little bit of game, that he may be feeling some type of way about. He's currently 20-0 with 10 knockouts, right? He's 26 years old. The man's still young, and he about to go in there. And he was about to go in there rather and fight for his 3rd divisional championship at 26 years old now. 26 years old. He's about to go in there and fight for the vacant WBC title. But I say long ago, somebody should have told him about this sport. Not so much when he was Olympian, he got silver. You know what I'm saying? Not so much when he's Olympian and got silver now. But I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that was explaining to him that this particular sport right here, it's going to have some letdowns. It's going to have some disappointments, that Shakur Stevenson, real talk. And being that we continue to grow in an area where we have technology at our disposal, social media is going to play a significant role when it comes to you building up your appraising value, your FICO score in the sport, Shakur. You should have known that. You got to see that with your mentor, Terrence Crawford. You got to see that firsthand on how tough it's going to be. So everything that you saw with Terrence Crawford, it didn't prepare you for the media. Did you not see how the media try to tear that man down and soil his name? You didn't. What were you doing? I can't just come at Frank Martin, bro. Bro, listen. You even had Floyd Mayweather back in the day. Floyd took criticism, and there's been plenty of fighters out here to take criticism, Shakur Stevenson. But at the end of the day, you have to understand that you have to collect information, you have to archive it, and you have to get shit. You have to pay attention first of all. You have to pay attention, keen attention to what's going on around the sport. You can never think to yourself that'll never happen to me. You had so many of your OGs that went through some shit on boxing that you should have knew your time was on the clock. You should have knew this, bro. Did you not know when you turned down that 25? Did you not know that, brother? Did you not see how they was trying to destroy and tarnish your name then? Did you not hear them when they were saying that, okay, Floyd Mayweather even took less money? Did you hear that? So let me ask you this. When it comes down to this media game, and I've even seen you drop tweets, so you understand how Twitter works. You understand that this is an everyday thing. This ain't gonna stop, brother. This is not gonna stop. So when you just recently turned down 25, right? You felt there was some type of way. And look, I'm torn on this, but I'm just trying to school you up on some, Shakur, because you understand a lot of things, but you when you get out on when you put it out to the media, you can't act like you dumbfounded. You have to understand what you know for a fact, what you've experienced, the people that you experienced it happening to. Now it's on your damn front doorstep. You can't act like you dumbfounded, bro. I say all the time, this media shit is Serengeti. You coming back around from the criticism that you bailed out on 25%, right? And then you link up with a fight that's credible. All right. It's credible. It's not as credible as Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia credible, but it's credible for us, the fight fans, to say, now we want to see this shit. So Frank Martin coming to the viewfinder, you know what I'm saying? And you and him about to fight. Y'all agreeing, you know what I'm saying? You about to fight for your third divisional title. Everything seems like they're lining up real nice for you, Shakur. And then Frank Martin, he goddamn pop the hatch and say, "Banzai!" And he jumps out that motherfucker. You didn't see he had a parachute on? You didn't see the possibility of him jumping out on you. This is the way it goes there in the business that Shakur Stevenson's. As much I don't like talking about the business aspect, because certain people abuse, the term business when it comes to boxing. But business in boxing is what make the sport as grimy, slimy as it is there, Stevenson. The business. The sport is a full contact sport. It's not the only one of its kind. People do get hurt physically in the sport of boxing. But what just happened to you is the business, bro. Somebody somewhere advised Frank Martin to about face there, Stevenson. Just like somebody, whoever that was, advised you to about face on that 25%. It just so happened that Karma just hanging out on the strip, and she didn't go nowhere, goddammit. And she was like, oh, hell no. Nah. This nigga think he about to get a motherfucking WBC title shot. Karma felt that it was her turn again to show up and let you know, no, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? You think you're gonna have an easy road to the top? You should have found out that the business, right, was the dirtiest game in the sport there, Stevenson. When they tried to insert Emmanuel Navarrete in with Oscar Valdez instead of you, man. And you was already a reigning defending champion at that division. You should have known right then. Them trying to put Navarrete in there for Oscar Valdez instead of you, bro. You took the business for granted. Let me try to help you understand how this business work. You know what I'm saying? Because you up here putting a tweet out. Let me put the tweet out Shakur Stevenson said and help guide him through this storm that he's in right now. Because umbrellas don't really work, Shakur. You know what I'm saying? Umbrellas don't work all the time, especially when the wind is blowing a little bit harder than what you expected. Umbrellas have been known to fold under pressure. It said the media is sick. They make up rumors just to protect certain fighters' image. What y'all even talking about? That man ain't pull out to fight nobody else. Stevenson, let me turn you on to a definition that plays a role in boxing a lot. It's prejudice. Preconceived opinion that is not based on reason or actual experience. Prejudice against people from different backgrounds. It's just a freaking example. Number 2, harm or injury that result or may result from some action or judgment. Okay? Harm or injury that result or may result from some action of judgment there, Shakur. Prejudice resulting from delay in the institution of the proceedings. What I'm trying to tell you, you're worrying about the prejudice of boxing. Okay? And let me play Shaw News freaking quote. Shout out to Showtime Shaw News. I want to play his snippet of what he said about this situation before I get back to it. But why I put it out there about prejudice is that, Shakur, when you are who you are and you are attached to Terrence Crawford and y'all have a respect level, Terrence is in the same position that you are now. Even though he's on his way out, you are not. You're still here. You're going to be here for a minute. So therefore, a lot of what he's experienced in his time and what you have witnessed, you may receive that typical type of prejudice from people who are really projecting that towards him. They're putting you into the equation because it's respect, okay, between you and Crawford, and that's one of your OGs, and so to speak. And some of what you're doing right now, you just might get caught up as an innocent bystander, so to speak. See, I don't like bringing up the wrong side of the street, but right now you are on a different side of the street, and we went through this before. Also, people do consider you to be black, even though you're black and Puerto Rican. People are always going to look at you as black first. That's just the way it is. So being that you've been in this situation before, Shakur Stevenson, you've been on the block long enough. You should have understand that PBC, top rank. People who's on here bragging that it was about to be another cross promotion, and they thought the fight would happen because you was signed with Man Down Promotions. They thought it would be much more simpler. But do we actually know if Man Down Promotions even know how to promote? I mean, he really doesn't have a track record with you. So ultimately, is he really doing the promoting, or are you getting all the advice from the guy that's over him? You know what I'm saying? Because usually that's the business part of it, yo. You know what I'm saying? And, people make decisions, the shakers and the movers, they make decisions there, Frank. You know what I'm saying? But for Shakur Stevenson, you're in a situation where if he pulls out of the fight, that should let you know that a handshake don't mean shit when it comes to the business of boxing. A handshake don't mean shit, Shakur. All right? Verbal agreement don't mean shit in the business of boxing, Shakur Stevenson. It don't mean anything. An agreement and a handshake, none of that means nothing. What does mean something to a point is when you actually sign that documentation and put your signature on that. That's what it means the most. That's what it means the most, brother. Not this verbal agreement, you know what I'm saying? Not this handshake, not grip and grin photos, you know what I'm saying? Not all these sidebar conversations. You know what I'm saying? Not DMs. Somebody can shoot you a DM and say, I'm gonna take the fight for real. You know, I'm gonna take the fight for real. If they don't sign the contract, it's never gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? If you think them people over at PBC don't know who you attached to, you know what I'm saying? If you think that they don't have preset agendas, they don't have vendettas from over there, you sadly mistaken. You letting the game play you. You're not playing the game there, Stevenson. You got to soak in all this knowledge. Man, you're 26 years old. You can't get on here talking about the media is sick. The media isn't sick. There's certain aspects to the media and where certain people have gotten acclimated to doing certain things to get fighters' attention. And in life, I say all the time, good bows before evil. That's the way we roll. But let me get to this Shaw News. Let's listen to what he said about Stevenson, and I'm gonna touch on it right quick. And shout out to Shaw News, the Sauce Experience. I'm adding him, okay? I'm social media adding Shaw News.
Of course, Stevenson for this tweet. Of course, we did see Frank Martin, a fighter who him and his promoter campaign for this fight. And now that it was official and they got sent over a contract, they don't want the fight. But yet we see media and YouTubers and boxing enthusiasts making excuses as to him fighting Tank Davis or some other shit. Come on, man.
So he said media, YouTubers, and so forth collectively coming up with another alternative for which they believe or assume that Frank Martin wants a bigger fight. You know what I'm saying? That is pretty much what is going out here and circulating around the media airwaves, right? That is it. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, that is the prejudice you are dealing with, Shakur Stevenson. You're going to continue, you and a lot of other people are going to deal with individuals in the media who are fabricating or creating these narratives. That's what they do. They grab hold of the wheelbarrow, they load it with narratives, and they push that shit around, bro.
Not only do you look suspect, Frank, you look soft, you look like a sucker hiding behind the business, hiding behind now the media.
He said, Frank Martin, you look like a sucker. Shakur Stevenson, a lot of people were saying you look like a sucker for not taking the 25% and understanding that those before you have made some type of sacrifice. It's the fact that they don't know if you made any sacrifices just yet. Like, I understand you just want to rise to the top and climb that ladder. You know what I'm saying? You made it to the championship pinnacle, but now you talking about legacy. Now you talking about inserting yourself into the idolatry of boxing. You're trying to be in the pantheon. That's what you're trying to do now. And when you try to be in the pantheon, it gets the weather gets different, brother. The weather's different when you're trying to climb the ladder for legacy and put yourself in the pantheon of boxing. It's different. It's different. You know what I'm saying? You should have had some type of understanding. I don't know who was doing all the negotiations for you or whatever, who was talking back and forth. But when you had the situation go down with the 25%, that is unfortunately the business of boxing that you chose to deny, right? You chose to deny that, Stevenson. And I'm not on Stevenson for this shit. I'm moving around, right? He chose to turn that down because he felt that he rates more money. What if Frank Martin turned down that money with you, which you believe, look, you thought that was a grand amount of money. But what if Frank Martin turned down the money for something bigger? I would say this, if Frank Martin turned down the fight and he don't have anything else on the burner, nothing else is on the calendar, on the forecast, then I'm gonna be puzzled as to why he turned it down. But listen, The fact that he turned it down and he was getting his highest payday, it has people looking at him crazy. It has people looking at him crazy. And Shakur Stevenson, Frank Martin, y'all together are going through an experience. You know what I'm saying? You all are both right up there in your late 20s. You all need to really start paying attention, especially you, Stevenson, because you're a bigger name than Frank Martin. And Frank Martin is looking at what you just did with the 25%. And he's saying, God damn it, if I got an alternative option out here, let me take the option. I don't know what the option is, but it wasn't that million that you was about to get with Stevenson for the championship belt, which is good money. You know what I'm saying? It was good damn money, bro. But both of y'all have basically went through similar situations lately. Shakur's turned down 25%. He chose not to entertain that shit. Frank Martin chose not to entertain that million, which would have been his highest purse. Why? I don't get it. I don't get why people don't understand that the business of boxing is dirty. Somebody can tell you they on board, they agree, they're gonna make it happen, and all of a sudden they gone. What burned the box? I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? I'm gone. They ghost on you. And you're like, what? What the hell what happened? It's the business of boxing, bro. That shit is slimy, grimy. It always will be. Whenever you hear people talking about how boxing fucks up, how boxers are fucked up in the sport of boxing, it's the business that fucks them up in the sport. We're not talking about physical damage. We're talking about boxers fighting all these years and getting paid, certain amount of paychecks or whatever. And they might get to a point where it's time to knot them up. And they're broke. No health care, no retirement stipend, none of that. Or pretty much when they're young enough to be competitive and they want to get these fights, the business of boxing will throw you curveballs all the time. It will send you down dark alleyways for no reason when you actually could have walked the lit boulevard, walked down where it was lighted the entire way. But that's not the way boxing will never be, because when you have people that's shakers and mover in the sport of boxing, they see you walking down that lit street and you haven't really had to been forced to turn down those alleyways and take the back roads. They're gonna send you those detours for sure. They're gonna say, oh no, so-and-so got it twisted. They think that this is all fun and games. This is nice. This shit is healthy. No, boxing is never that way. You have too many people that's been fucked over. And those same people that's been fucked over, now they trying to fuck somebody else over. You know what I'm saying? And now they get those people that's conditioned that they fucking over. You know what I'm saying? They get them conditioned to being fucked over. And then when it comes time for them to be in a certain situation, we seeing it play out with the Haneys. Put them in a certain situation of being fucked that they try to fuck over the next person. So it's a cycle. It's a cycle that keeps on trickling from people in this sport due to the business of boxing fucking people over. And you're talking about human beings that's remembering. So Shakur Stevenson, it's not the media per se. The media is just, one type of engine to this. That's all. It's just one type of engine. You can't say the media. You have to put SOME on that.
But hey, what do I know? This is the.
I just wanted to play that little snippet from Shot News, because does Frank Martin, does he come off as a sucker? For just jumping ship? I say I have to agree with Shot News on this one, because the reason why I'm looking at that the way it is, because it's not like you had some big time fights, Frank. Not only that, your last performance wasn't all that. So for you to get paid over $1 million, it's a lot of fighters that's dreaming for that right now. For you to be shuffled into the mix, you know what I'm saying? Now that Haney is going up there and he's about to fight, whoever he fights at 140, progress or whatever, you get an opportunity to be the first in line to scoop up that WBC belt, not from an email. Not from an email. We're talking about fighting for a championship and getting over $1 million for a paycheck. And you really haven't fought nobody. Seriously. I mean, you have, you know what I'm saying? Jackson Mourinho, you know what I'm saying? You know, that was steadily trying to prove himself just like Michelle Rivera, bro. I mean, truth be told, for you to get $1 million, over $1 million supposedly, the business of boxing, man, is unforgiving. You know what I'm saying? The business of boxing can be many people that you never want to meet in life. You know what I'm saying? That's the business of boxing. The business of boxing doesn't have a heart. You know what I'm saying? You cannot put the business of boxing as having a moral compass. That's not the business of boxing. That was never, because you got to understand the business of boxing doesn't even have control of itself. There's individuals that's always in controlling the business of boxing. It never has control of itself. It's only influenced by those who are making the decisions of the business of boxing. And when those individuals make those decisions and it don't benefit you, Shakur Stevenson, or it don't benefit freaking Frank Martin, fucked up shit happen like you seeing now. People jump ship, period. They jump ship. And when they jump ship, it seems fucked up, especially if you're saying, God damn, I'm about to get this WBC. Oh, man, great. You know, it's not like Shakur Stevenson had the WBC title before, but he hasn't had it at lightweight division. And for a while, it's been certain individuals running the lightweight division. We're looking for the new breed, the new crop. Teofimo left. George Kambosos lost his title. Devin Haney defended his titles on his way out. Now it's time for the new guard to come in, the young guard to come in. And this was a perfect time, but the business of boxing said, no, fuck that. We don't give a fuck about, you know, any of that other shit, man. We don't give a fuck about that. You know what I'm saying? You got the business of boxing when it comes to Gervonta Davis making money without the belts. And then you have someone like Frank Martin who obviously has somebody in his ear and say, yeah, you making the highest paycheck you ever made. But truth be told, are you ready for Shakur Stevenson? Are you willing to go in there and get your O? Have you think you did enough to continue to build your record so you can get an even higher paycheck? They can say what they want. But Frank Martin has another option that he's interested in. And when it comes to the business of boxing, that option has to be more than what he was getting with Shakur Stevenson. It's fucked up all the way around, just like a carousel. Real talk. Them horses never jump off that bitch. All they do is move up and down and go around in a circle. That's the business of boxing, goddammit. It's going to take you for a loop, and you ain't going to never enjoy that shit unless it benefits you as a fighter. But shout out to Shaw News, man, for that snippet. You know, one thing he said in there, it was a sucker move. And you know, for Frank Martin, hopefully you have a better option out there, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because you really haven't did anything in your career. So for you not look, and you, I just look at you passing up opportunity to step in there with a guy like Shakur Stevenson, who is a big name. You know what I'm saying? Who is a big name? Who is a 2-division champion? You haven't even became a divisional champion yet. You haven't even picked up your first belt yet. You know what I'm saying? You haven't even earned over $1 million. You haven't even on the mill, like Danny Jacobs said. You haven't even touched the M. So somebody got to you. Somebody got to you and told you something. Only thing I'm saying, Frank, don't become the Rolly Romero now. You know, sit down and do what I tell you to do, and we'll get you what you need. What do you want? What do you want, Frank Martin? You want to assess the situation and learn something from it or not? You know what I'm saying? Because you have to factor in respect. If you be a corporate guy and you just walking away, you got to make sure it's a huge benefit outside of you turning down money that you never made in your career. You never made this type of money. So you got to make sure the benefit is there. Don't become the Rolly Romero, the black Rolly Romero now. Rolly is willing to do anything they tell him to do. Fight. They'll put him in it. Okay, fight this guy, and this is what's gonna happen. Or fight that guy. This is what's gonna happen. They in Connecticut, they gifted Rolly a freaking WBA interim title. You know what I'm saying? They gifted him. He hung around, this, that, and the other. Finally fought Gervonta Davis after, the shit came out about some fucking bogus ass assault and shit. He came out, fought Gervonta Davis, stopped, and then that's the business. That's a fucked up business side of boxing, bro. That's fucked up. That we're seeing these fighters do less, but getting larger opportunities like Rolly Romero and Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? So now, the black fighters have to understand what they're looking at. You have Rolly Romero, who's Cuban. You have Ryan Garcia, who's Mexican American or whatever it is. And they're getting these big open doors for them, right? And for you, I can understand that. I don't know if it was Errol. I don't know if it was Al Heyman. But when it came to cross-threading promotions and someone saying F Shakur Stevenson, I wonder if was it pretty much directed at Shakur Stevenson, or was it because who he's attached to? Because this kind of the same shit that was going on with Crawford Spence for quite some time. The cross-threading of promotions and people was like saying he on the wrong side of the street and all this other shit. We've proven that cross-threading promotions can happen. It can be productive. But I'm just trying to figure out, why was this done the way it was when Shakur Stevens, he pulled out over 25% with Devin, but yet that didn't have anything to do with cross-threading of promotions, right? But being he did pull out, I don't know his reasoning for it, unless he was trying to negotiate or whatever. He was trying to get 50-50, whatever the case may be. That wasn't dealing with the other side. That was just the slimy part of business. Numbers are always going to be the part of business. He want 50-50. Okay, they want to look at who you fought and what you did in the sport to request 50-50. And then you take what Shakur just did and come to Frank Martin. I'm going to put it out there, bro. If they went through the entire negotiation process, right, and he agreed to the amount, he agreed. I don't think this happened at the last minute where Frank Martin decided to pull out. I think it was some games being played. You know what I'm saying? To take this, to move this along, right along. You know what I'm saying? And until the wheel fall off. You know what I'm saying? They was loosening nuts and bolts the whole time on this shit. And it might have been the history, you know what I'm saying, of what happened between Crawford Spence. Just because people are not physically getting at you doesn't mean they can't do it from afar. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. I wonder why Frank, who really haven't made no money in his career, right? He's going around here, having debates with freaking Keyshawn Davis at Media Scrum and talking about how he want to do this, that, and the other. But Shakur Stevenson have a bigger name than Keyshawn Davis. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. He has a bigger name. So for you to turn down a meal, bro, and go the other way, I hope it's not to fight the winner, Gervonta Davis and Isaac Cruz, if that's the case. Because then you would have proved them right, and you're gonna have to pretty much take that on the chin. And people are gonna say, okay, all right. Or maybe not. You're gonna have the ones that say, okay, he should have did that. It was good for the business of boxing. And then you're gonna have the other group of people saying, man, you could have fought Shakur. And if you was confident in yourself, you win the fight, you would have even got more money stepping in there fighting Gervonta Davis. But somehow I'm getting the feeling that it's some people over there at the PBC that really didn't have confidence in you to win this fight. So they asked you point blank, do you want to get rid of your O for $1 million, or you want to get rid of your old for 6-7 million, whatever the case may be. What do you want to do? Be patient, man. Be patient. What do you want to do? Be patient. We're gonna get you what you need. Remember, you over here with PBC. You know what I'm saying? We got you. You know what I'm saying? We got you, and we embracing you with cactus gloves. It might hurt a little bit. You might lose some blood, but we're gonna get you where you need to be. Frank Martin said, "Yeah, I agree to fight Shakur. When it's time to sign the contract, Frank lost the ink in the pen." Yeah, man. I'm curious to know what the option is. I want to know what the option is to this shit. What is the option? What's going on? What is the option to this? What do they have him lined up for? Is it Isak Cruz? Because he really can he make over $1 million fighting Isak Cruz? I don't know. Looking at Isak, I don't even want to bring Isak into this, bro. I'm just trying to keep it strictly Shakur Stevenson. You know what I'm saying? And him not fully understanding how media works. Like you are real good with Terrence Crawford. Y'all have a very in-depth common respect for one another. You know what I'm saying? So you've seen what happened to him over the years. One of the worst smear campaigns that you'll find on a boxer. So I'm thinking, Shakur, as close as you are to Crawford, this shouldn't even bother you. You should look at this shit like, okay, they up here, pushing narratives, bias-ass narratives, and they're going to say what they want to say. If you don't understand that people are feeling some type of way about you because you're attached to Crawford and they chose to say, okay, Crawford is the one we love to hate, then you're not paying attention the way you should, Shakur. Come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? The media isn't sick of anything. It's certain media. And that's why, and look, Stevenson, I'm going to turn you on the game again. You know what I'm saying? Don't let the hot grease burn you, Stevenson. I'll say this, and I'll say it to you. That is the perfect example as to why those individuals that you're highlighting, that's why they do what they do. Because when they do what they do and it gets reaction that they want from you all, they pretty much feel like it's worthy. You know what I'm saying? It's time well spent there, Stevenson. Because if they put this information out there and they get a reaction out of you, they say, you know what? This is what I should do all the time if it's going to get a reaction. Because truth be told, WCS is going to put it out there. I do feel some type of way about certain fighters always identifying who's saying something negative about them. The fighters that be rocking with y'all and saying good shit about you, you never want to identify them. Why? Because you consider it to be, I don't want to give them any clout. What do you think the ones who's putting out negative shit about you? They are actually going for clout. But the ones who really truly support you and talk that shit about you in the right way, who really down for you, it's almost like they get no love. I don't want to recognize so-and-so. I don't want to give them no clout. I don't want to co-sign for them. Why? Because you're pretty much co-signing for the ones who say negative shit about you. And this is a perfect example with Shakur Stevenson. You know what I'm saying? He's basically identifying the ones who's pushing this about Frank Martin going somewhere else to fight. You know what I'm saying? That's just the lay of the land right now, bro, on this social media shit. Everybody gas their media segue different through these streets. You know what I'm saying? Frank Martin is the new Peter Quillen. Damn. That's why God brought Stevenson and Crawford together, because he knew the road Shakur was going to have to walk. Oh, man, deep. Talk that, man. Drop the sauce, man. You know what I'm saying? Drop the sauce, man. That's deep. For real. Stevenson better get used to the griminess and learn how to bob and weave. That's what I'm talking about, Nick. That's not talking about the hottest chat in the MFing game. A-side official. Niggas ain't over here looking goofy and stupid. Man, y'all get it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get this shit, bro. Y'all get it. He better get used to the griminess of the business of boxing. The business is what make the sport look the way it does, man. You can dress up any grimy, slimy, lying-ass nigga in a nice-ass suit. When people who around him know who he is behind that suit, they're not even going to look at the suit, man. They just know him or her for who they are, period. You can have on the best tailor-made, customized suit all you want. Dress from head to toe, shawty. But if you are that grimy, slimy, nefarious individual, that scoundrel, you know what I'm saying, that malefactor, people are just going to see you for who you are dressed in the suit. And you should always look at boxing like that. Business runs boxing. That's why they say boxing is a business first. Because business pretty much generate the movement on fighters all the time. What do you mean by that, WCS? The negotiation process, what a fighter's worth, what they should make. If a fighter could go up here and set their own freaking pay scale in their ticket, the sport will move along pretty damn good. If the money was there, the sport will move around. Look, the sport will move along well for the fighters themselves. But if you're talking about the fighters fighting the best, they would say, why? I'm making all the money I need to make. Why do I need to go up here and fight that tough fight? I'm already making 15 million, bro. My last 4 fights, I made $15 million, man. Why I need to go in here and fight a hard fight? I'm good. That's just not the way it works, though. What shows has Man Down Promotions put on other than TGB? Let me see. What shows have Man Down Promotions put on other than TGB Promotions events? True. Nothing. What other fighters are notable beneath that promotional umbrella? You know what I'm saying? Have you seen any other fighter's name beneath that promotional umbrella? I haven't. Christopher, what's good with it? Salute to you, brother. In the building. Sammy, salute to you. What's good? On deck with it. Salute WCS in the chat. In the game, yes, sir. He most likely got paid to walk away from the fight and promise something better, like step aside money. So if by chance, right, let's say Shaw News is correct, right? Let's just say Frank Martin got paid step aside money. Is Frank Martin wrong for taking step aside money? Or he's just being basically vilified for who he chose to walk away from to take the step aside money? Because step aside money, the shit goes on all the time in boxing. You know, you're talking about getting money to do nothing. You're just basically saying, I got paid for a delay. I got paid just to chill, and then I'm gonna get my money. You got paid to receive a promissory note. That's what you got paid. Just like Abner Yildirim to Canelo Alvarez. He was gifted a promissory note. And it took him a couple of years. But you know what I'm saying? He finally stepped in there with Canelo to get whatever amount of money he got. So if by chance, and we've seen this happen with Stantionis, you know what I'm saying? And some other fighters I don't want to name that supposedly, you know, was taking step aside money. If you choose to take that gift, don't sit up here and act stupid when people start criticizing you for it. Because, you know, if they want to see the best fight the best, even though you're not the best there, right, Frank Martin, you had the opportunity to step in there with a fighter who they considering one of the best. So this was your opportunity, man. You know what I'm saying? To step in there with Shakur Stevenson, shut down the hype. You know what I'm saying? Just like you were saying with Keyshawn. You know, for Keyshawn, you was giving him all the energy. Oh man, you know, you was walking through there. I respected that. I said, okay, he walking over there by himself, and he's letting it be known. You know, I fuck him up, this, that, and the other. But Stevenson, you know, somebody told you, hey man, Shakur Stevenson isn't Keyshawn Davis, big dog. I'm just letting you know, man. This ain't personal, bro. But Stevenson ain't freaking Keyshawn. And he's a problem. He's gonna be a problem. He's gonna be a problem, and he's gonna be a problem. So based off your last performance, you sure you want to go in there, because you're always about to go. So if they gave him step aside to fight a bigger fight, let's see how that plays out for Frank. You know what I'm saying? Let's see how it plays out from him. You know what I'm saying? Let's see how that promissory note plays out for Frank Martin moving forward. Because the one thing he's banking on, that he was banking on before Crawford, was that he's with the more popular side of the street, PBC. But being that you were signed with Man Down Promotions and your promoter took that thrashing the way he did, you know, the appraising value has reduced. You know, the reductionism is point blank. You know, flying in the air, man. You know what I'm saying? The light is a bit dimmer coming over there from Man Down Promotions, because actually a man was down. And you know what? You fucking with Shakur Stevenson, it might be another man down. You know what I'm saying? So it might have been a blessing in disguise for you, Frank. But you know, like Shaw News say, man, you know, some people might consider you to be a sucker for that. Some people might consider you to be a sucker, being that you ain't fought nobody. You can't go off Jackson Marinez and Michelle Rivera, bro. Frank Martin should have taken that fight. He's 29 years of age, never won a world title, arguably lost his last fight, and the Kerr fight was the highest payday. I get it. Hey, see, that's what I'm talking about, Javier. Man, y'all get it. Y'all get it. Real talk, y'all get it. The man haven't did anything, bro. I could see if he did something, but dude, you went into the later rounds with Jackson Marinez, man, and you got a good win over Michelle Rivera, who was in the same position as you are, bro. He might be a little bit younger than you, but he was trying to prove himself and build himself up too. That's all. That's all that was. Joseph Adorno, I mean, yeah, he hasn't win over him. Okay, cool. But he was just trying to build himself up, bro. It wasn't no big names, no real big names out there that he can just say, you know what, that basically changed levels for me. I won the interim title. You don't even have an interim title, Frank. But anyway, Shakur Stevenson, you better than that, bro. Let me put his tweet back up there. Shakur Stevenson says, media is sick. They make up rumors. You know, when I hear people, you know, say the media is sick, you know, like people are sick. Do you know what sick mean? Like you use the right term per se for media, but you have to understand why they find it so easy there, Stevenson. You've been around this shit. You've been around it, bro. They say if you hang around bad weather enough, you become a meteorologist. You know, you'll learn how to predict certain shit. Like people that live in those storm-ridden areas, they learn about that. Like in Japan, we know we get a typhoon 3 or 4 times a year because it's out there on the water. It's bound to happen. It ain't gonna stop. But you're in media, you know, and you've been around the storm there, Stevenson. You know what I'm saying? To protect certain fighters. What if I was to tell you that it's not to protect certain fighters? Maybe it's there to make, you know what I'm saying, push that agenda that's being, you know, voiced or whatever. Maybe it's not really to protect Frank Martin from anything. It's just there for content. It's just there to make it seem like the business is still running things in the sport. Who would be protecting Frank? What has Frank done to get protection? And furthermore, who's protecting you? Who's protecting you, Stevenson? I mean, I don't find too many people coming to your defense. And you know why they not, Stevenson? Because you turned down 25%. Somewhat the same thing which Frank ran. They might have just did the same thing you did, that just out of spite, bro. You know what I'm saying? You turned down 25% because you thought you should get more. Frank turned down $1 million because he may potentially think he wants more, bro. You have to do these these ride alone analogies, man, because you'll find out they kind of blend in or bleed over to certain situations, because it's some dirty, grimy people here. You might not think the shit is being done to you directly, but it can still affect you the same way by indirectly doing shit to you. You walked away from 25%. Frank just walked away from a million plus. You was about to make the most you ever made your payday. Frank was about to make the most he made his entire payday. I mean, come on. It's the same shit, Stevenson. You got to be locked on, bro. What y'all even be talking about? That man ain't pull out for no fight, nobody else. Listen, bro. You got to understand and do troubleshooting. You got to think about this before you put tweets out. Try to figure out why it happened. You know what I'm saying? What are all the I mean, I'm talking about the best case scenarios to come up with a solution and try to figure out, to try to troubleshoot this, to try to come up with a solution. What's the best case scenario? Because both you and Frank have been through similar situations. Y'all been in similar situations. You walked away from the 25 and he walked away from $1 million plus. Similar situations, bro. You're not fighting Devin Haney, and Frank ain't fighting you. So you've experienced that. You can take that for a learning tool moving forward, you know, and understand that the business is it shows no mercy, bro. Don't blame it on the media. Don't blame it on the media. Because how does the media get attention there, Stevenson? Based off shit that actually happened. Now, there are some things where they will absolutely exacerbate it, but usually it's because of something that transpired. You know what I'm saying? Something that they can grab hold of. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you need to get a better understanding of how this Serengeti works out here. It's not all media, it's some media, but ultimately social media itself is the jungle. You're not going to be able to control the jungle there, Stevenson, just like you can't control the business of boxing. You can't control the business of boxing, my brother. Not even close. So you putting out, and what y'all even talking about? Look, we've heard even Terrence say stuff about the media. Terrence can't even control the media. He can address who he wants to address, but it's not going to change what happens in the media. It's not going to change it, bro. And I, you know, it's a learning, you know, it's a learning experience for you. I pretty much put it out there. You should have learned what happened, you know, with Terrence and then run the smear campaign on him and stuff like that. But y'all fighters, man. Only, you know, what I'll say about this is that, you know, the ones who's really be fucking with y'all and saying good shit, y'all really show them little attention. But time somebody's saying negative shit about y'all feel the need to invest all that energy into addressing these cats. And that's exactly what they want. They want the screenshot or a screen record that fighter that they was making up all these narratives about. They have now screen recorded them, and the fact that you responded to them. I don't get it. I don't get that at all, man. You know what I'm saying? I just think it's some bullshit at the end of the day. Shout out to D1 in the building. The only way that isn't a duck, as if he has a contract for Tank Davis And I just watched the rise this morning, and there's no way that's the case. Okay. I don't know what you mean by you don't know if that's the case. The contracts are never really out here on social media. So if they're saying it's not a contract, look, I'm gonna go on record. I don't think the Rise podcast, any of them guys, are at the negotiation table with Tank, even though they see him all the time. My only thing is, when have a contract being made public? You know what I'm saying? When, I mean, people have speculated, it's been rumor mill and all this other shit, but when have you known that a contract is out here for the general public to speak on, and it's actually the fine details on a term sheet, the proposal, and the contract? So I don't know what they said exactly, but they can tell you. I mean, it's media. That's what Shakur Stevenson's complaining about. How much integrity do we have from the media? Hey, it ain't no contract out there. I mean, come on, man. Like, I mean, if you rocking heavy with one side of the street, it's just like what Shakur said. Just to protect. They're gonna protect whatever is going on. You know what I'm saying? That's what we have certain content creators out here. They feel that they're on a campaign to protect. They want to protect by all means necessary. Even lying, stealing, cheating, they're gonna protect. They're gonna sit up here and protect that shit. You know what I'm saying? If they all straight hardcore PBC, they're gonna protect every freaking fighter. So Shakur, you should understand that. You should understand that these individuals are gonna protect who they feel that they should show extreme bias and prejudice to, and you shouldn't take it personal. Period. You wasting your energy. You're not gonna be able to change this shit out here on social media. If you try to go hard at social media, only thing they're gonna do is make more content. I would. Shout out to Smoke Session Sports and Entertainment. Salute to you, brother. Hold on for a second, y'all. I dropped the link right there. Hold on for a second. Let me get this shit. Yeah, I'm back, people. Hey, big shout out to Carlos Rosado, the first on deck on the panel. What's good with it, Carlos?
What up, WCS? Can you hear me?
Man, yeah, you good. Loud and clear.
This nigga scared. This nigga scared. Nah, it happens in boxing, man. This isn't the first time it's happened. Ain't gonna be the last time. It's just the politics of boxing. But
I mean, do you
it's
think you
fucked up
want to
for us.
actually fight him though? Do you get the warm and
No,
fuzzy that Frank Martin want to fight Shakur or what?
I don't even think it has to do with Shakur. I think it has to do with the fact that he wants to keep that zero on that camp, so he had him bragging rights.
Well, that's being scared, ain't it? You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't that be has some type of
Yeah,
fear?
he is scared. Yeah, but like I said, I don't know if it's Shakur in particular, but man, fuck it. You know what? It is him. That nigga don't want to fight him. I'm sorry. You know, let me retract my statement. That motherfucker don't want to fight. He don't want to
Hey
fight.
Man, you gotta
I ain't
hold.
no Frank.
You say shit, you gotta hold to it, man. You know what I'm saying?
You right. I had to
Hold
think
on
about it
to
for a
it.
second. I had to think about it for a second. You right. But man, I don't. Man, that's crazy because once again the fans lose. And I didn't know he was 29 years old, man. That boy better get in that ring. Stop fucking around.
You never heard them say they fast tracking him. You trying to fast track him, but this is not the way to fast track the man because he's 29 years old and what he gonna do? Leave up out of here with one division championship or whatever once he take that L, or they have him going the Roller Romero route where they gonna just lock him in and assure that he's gonna get a couple opportunities to become champion.
I know Frank isn't like literally with PBC. I know he's with Arrow, so he's basically affiliated with the PBC. It's just the PBC way.
If he with Arrow, he's affiliated with some type of way with the PBC.
It's the PBC way. I mean, all they stars has done it. When's the last like big star of PBC that's actually running and getting belts? Tank not even doing it. He don't even want to fight the top guys. You know what I'm saying? They just there for the money. They just there to take the bag. That's it. That's what PBC is. They just there to take the bag.
But boxing is a business first. Boxing is a business first, though. So when it comes to just taking the bag, that's a part of the business because nobody's saying boxing is first. No, business is first. Business collectively is all about the what the fighter get paid. All about the numbers. That's it.
That's true. It's
just we don't like it.
Man.
Yeah, it is fucked up. We don't like it when it comes strictly to the business because some of these good matchups like we seeing don't get made. That's always going to be that way, man.
You can even look at when you was a kid and you could see fights that you was like, damn, I wish this guy fought this one or this guy fought this. How many people did want to fight Eric Pryor?
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? You could go back to when you was a kid, your dad, your grandpa, you know what I mean? They all could go back in there because it's been shiesty since the Jack Johnson days. So, I mean, the money is the power and they go where the money at. It's like, I don't blame the people who go for the money. It's just fucked up for the boxers, man. It's real fucked up for the boxers, man. They need to smarten up or to get some people on their team or try to find some people on their team that's fucking competent, man. Because a lot of these guys are just out just to get the bag from the boxer too. So,
but what if they don't have confidence in their fighter going out there getting the big fights? Because you take on a big name that can get you even more money up the road. So what if they don't have confidence that Frank can go in there and beat Shakur Stevenson?
That they need to fucking let Frank go. Because I'm not fighting nobody. I'm not gonna sign nobody that's gonna be scared. That's true, but look at his but who's on his resume? We can't really name anybody on his resume. I mean, us boxing fans, yeah, but you feel what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
And
so
look,
it's like, dude,
and they're gonna tell you that's why they told him to pull out that motherfucking fight with Shakur Stevenson. Bro, you're 29. You're 29 years old. We're gonna get you some fights, man. Just wait. Just chill a little bit. Don't give a fuck about what they talking about.
That has got to get to a point with the boxer where he's like, look, I'm tired of chilling. I'm tired of fucking fighting this guy and this guy. I need to get the bag. It'll get to the point they want him to get desperate or something. I don't know. 29, I could understand if he was 22, 23. Okay, I can fight down the line, but you 29, bro.
Ain't not, bro.
You ain't no, you're not a kid. Not a kid. So
Hell no, you ain't kid.
I mean, but it's a boxing game, I guess. But
shout out Martin King
I
boxing.
mean, it's just like I said. What can you do?
Go ahead.
What can you do?
I like what
Can't do
D1
shit.
said. D1 said, bro, Frank getting paid $75K to fight Michelle Rivera. He had to take this fight. It's an effing duck all day. $75K from $1 million is a huge. I mean, come on, that gap. You can't even cover that gap, man. Come on now.
That boy,
Come on,
that boy
75K to over $1 million, dog. That's crazy, dog.
Come on, bro. And on top of that, you're not just getting paid yourself. You got to pay your team. So he's not really getting 75K.
True.
He probably get maybe 45 out of it, 50. So it's like, and Derek ain't cheap. You know, he working with Derek, so he ain't cheap. He taking at least 20, 10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, for the fight. So you're coming out losing on the back end. It's like they're so. I mean, a lot of them are so concerned about this damn zero. It's like, bro, it's about legacy, bro. I understand it's about your money. You got to get your bag, but you know what? Shakur is already leading you to more money. Who cares if you take that zero? Just going, motherfuckers ain't gonna say, yo, you're a punk because you lost. No, they're gonna be like, yo, good fight, man. You took on Shakur or whatever. Move on to the next guy. That's how boxing is, man. That's why certain fighters with losses. Go ahead.
Now I was gonna ask you, so what is how do you identify the way to get to the bag, the paycheck? You know what I'm saying? What is the dynamic? What does a fighter have to do? Is it who he fights or who he signed with? What is the one that you can say that gets them to the bag? What do they have to do?
I think it definitely has to do with who they side with. They have to be smart with who they side with, because they're eventually going to have to go with somebody. But I think it's like 50-50. The boxer definitely has to play his part. He has to be exciting in the ring. He has to be somebody that people want to watch. And what's working against Frankie, he doesn't have a mouthpiece. If he had a mouthpiece to sell, it'd be a little different. So it's on that. It's on both sides. You know what I'm saying?
No, I respect what you just said, who they signed with, because that's the reason why I asked, because we've seen certain fighters and who they sign with, they're going to get getting the bag without the legacy. They're getting the bag without the legacy. You know, Rolly is getting the bag without the legacy. Ryan Garcia getting the bag without legacy. I'm not saying those are the only ones. I'm just saying that certain fighters is getting the bag and they haven't even did anything.
Yeah. But also Ryan and Tank, they built it up. Yeah, but also Ryan and Tank and Rolly and Tank built their fights up. You know what I'm saying? They sold that shit. I don't think Frank Martin is going to be like the social media type guy the way they were going back and forth. Because remember when Tank and Ryan was fighting, that's all we talked about. Like for that whole month or whatever time happened until fight night. Like it was all over social media and they were going all over. Remember Ryan was on Mike Tyson talking about 2 rounds, I'm gonna knock you out. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they get in the bag, but also like that's the other side I'm saying though, WCS, where they get the money. That adds on to it because they sold that shit. They made people want to watch that shit. Frank is a mind, man. He's quiet. Seems like a good kid, humble kid, but he's too quiet. AB, look at AB. I'll give you an example. Look at AB.
Okay. Go ahead.
Look at AB. AB was what? Like when he was fighting towards the end, before all this other shit, he was like 3-3. But he was selling them fights because he was talking. He knew how to, I don't know. Some people just have that gift of gab that just know how to talk. And there's just some people who just show example, like just fighting like Pacquiao and Triple G. So I mean,
I see that. Okay, hold up. There you go. You finally got to the point I was trying to make. So why does certain fighters have to have the gift of gab and others don't? It seems like the brothers always got to have the gift of gab to sell a fight, and fighters like you just said, Pacquiao and Canelo, Triple G, they don't, but they still was able to get the fight. Look at Triple G. He wasn't talking no mad shit to get the Canelo fight when Canelo moved up for their first outing. Why is it always true, like the black fighters?
It is fucked up, but a lot of boxing fans will consider those styles a lot more exciting than slick fighters and stuff like that. Me personally, us, we like it because we love boxing. I love boxing, period. But that's the only answer I could give you. Is just like,
I mean, every black fighter, every black fighter, in my opinion, is not a slick fighter. That's the kind of tag they put on them back in the day. Hit and not get hit, slick. But not every fighter was not every black fighter, in my opinion, was a slick fighter. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of black fighters got their ass beat because they can only box a certain way, just like the rest of them. But
that's true. That's true.
I mean,
I'm just talking about the body they put it all the. I'm just talking about what the how do you say, the boxing society calls it. You know what I'm saying? What they say about it. Like, oh, these slick. I know that there isn't a bunch of. They're all different types of fighters. Fucking Errol Spence. Everybody's saying he has a Mexican style. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's just a lot of things to throw in the pot, though. You know what I'm saying? It's not just to me, not just one thing. It's like a pie chart. It's like all different slices of things that make a fighter and things that gotta come together. And you know what I mean? It's not easy. It's definitely not easy to make a fight. It's definitely not easy to make a fight. It's definitely not easy. I've never been in negotiations, but I'm pretty sure those negotiations are very stressful, especially when it comes to two big names. You know what I'm saying? Because egos are involved. I want what I want.
Yeah, I think when it comes to boxing, speaking of pie slices, like when you look at the apple pie, what turns you on about that pie is that you see the apples and you can smell it and all that. With boxing, that pie, it may have a crust on top. You cut that bitch open, you're gonna get some of everything. Yep. Kale, Vienna sausages, motherfucking spam. You're gonna get a collective
all types
of all of that shit, bro. And you know what I'm saying? That's just the way it is.
I was looking forward to this fight, man, but you never know.
Yeah, I was.
You never know what can happen
too, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I was looking forward to that shit too.
It's like the person I was saying earlier about step aside money. It's like, I can understand if you stepped aside and we knew who you was gonna fight, unless like if there's an announcement in the next few days, we say, oh, he's gonna fight, a named guy. Let's say he fights let's say maybe he fights Ryan or Tank or somebody. Okay, I understand why you didn't want to fight Shakur, but if it's for that guy for the 75K, then come on, bro. Come on, kid. Like you fucking yourself over. You deserve to get no pay for that fight. You come out with a $40,000 check talking about, damn, man, I did all this shit for 3 months for $40,000. Come on, fam. You gotta get paid. You never know when your career is gonna be over, bro. Get that money now.
Yeah, I think that fight with Shakur, one loss don't define you. And I'm not saying he would have lost, but all I'm saying is he could have lost. You know what I'm saying? He could have very well lost going in there with Shakur. I don't think at this point, man, getting one loss. We've seen in this era, fighters with one loss, they still able to get bigger fights after that, man. Look at Rolly. Rolly gets knocked out by Tank. Yeah. Rolly get knocked out by Tank and get a immediate title shot up the road in the next division. Ryan Garcia, he gets knocked out by Tank. He's about to fight for the WBA title. So one loss doesn't determine anything. So this got to be a quack. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
for real.
This is a fucking Nintendo Duck Hunt duck. That's what that shit is. That shit is a duck. Come on, kid. He looked like shit. He looked like he ain't even want no parts of Keyshawn Davis when they was standing next to each other. Like, no,
I don't know about that. I think he did. I think he did, man. I was up here talking. I said, okay, I respect Frank for what he did with Keyshawn. He walked over there and he was talking his shit with him. Like, he was talking his shit. I actually thought, he wanted that smoke with Keyshawn.
But isn't he supposed to be fighting soon?
Oh, in October, I think. October, something like that, I believe. November, October, November.
Something like that. Okay.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So we got Canelo coming up in like 3 weeks. Got him coming up. Hopefully, the rematch will be coming up soon. Hopefully, Bomac situation will be all right. But more disappointing news from boxing. That's all.
Shout out to NO.
Disappointing news from boxing.
Oh, no doubt. It's always going to be that way. NO says, I'm going to be real. My love for boxing has almost died due to the game and BS. I follow a few fighters and a couple of YouTube channels, but other than that, I'm pretty much done with the sport. You gotta understand what runs the sport. What runs the sport, man. You have to understand that what runs the sport is business. So don't
Cash
let your
is everything.
desire to love whatever you love about the sport dwindle because of how you see it playing out in front of you. You know what I'm saying? It's dysfunctional. There's always going to be a dysfunctional relationship that the consumers have with boxing. Always. That's not going to change, bro.
Facts. I
There's
wonder
too
what's
many
going to
people.
happen for both of them now.
Both who? Frank and Shakur? But
Yeah.
see, Shakur Stevenson, he can get a fight with anybody. I mean, whether it's going to be respected or not, who he fights for the title, it doesn't matter. Once again, boxing can put a name in there. Let me go over here right quick. Let me pull this up right quick. So Shakur at 135 pounds. Let's just say Frank Martin is out of the question. William Cepeda is locked in, I think, for a fight. Vasily Lomachenko has another fight coming up. Isak Cruz is taken care of. So pretty much like I tell people, man, in the top 10 of the rankings, after number 7, it gets a little bit shaky. Floyd Schofield, they said they wanted to fight. Floyd Schofield doesn't really have a big name, but will they take a fight? I think Floyd will take a fight if offered. You know what I'm saying, to fight. I don't know. That'd be a tough fight for Floyd if he was offered a fight. But I don't see him ranked in the top 10 for the WBC. Jermaine Ortiz. What about Edwin De Los Santos, man? Edwin De Los Santos. They can put him in there with Shakur Stevenson. He been wanting that smoke. Edwin De Los Santos.
That's cool. I mean, people still gonna be disappointed because they want the Frank Martin fight, but they gotta fight somebody.
What about George Kambosos, man? I know he about to. George Kambosos is about to fight. Allegedly George Kambosos is about to fight Vasily Lomachenko, bro.
For real?
Yeah, man.
What happened with that? What happened with that shit that they said about Devin Haney and Regis Prograis, where it was supposed to be a mandatory fight with Shakur and Loma, and then the winner takes on the winner of that fight? What happened with that? They said something about that. Something I read was a while ago, and they was gonna fight for 50-50 or something for the belts at 140 or something like that.
That shit has been all over the place, to be honest, man. Like,
yeah, what the fuck was that?
That shit.
And then next thing I know, it's Frank and next thing I know, it's Frank and Shakur, and they started changing everything up. And Devin's gonna fight Regis, which we already knew that. I knew he was gonna fight Prograis, so that's not a surprise. But yeah, the shit was just going back and forth, and then Shakur's he was hitting up Loma, and Loma wanted the rematch with Devin, and now it's like a whole bunch of shit all over the place. But I don't know. That's just the game of boxing, man. They'll fucking throw something out there one day, and then the next day something totally different.
Martin King said Keyshawn versus Martin. And now we'll watch that fight, that Martin King. Shout out to Martin King Boxing in the building. We'll watch that fight with Keyshawn and Martin. But Keyshawn and Frank Martin. But guess what? It's not a big money fight. I don't think they're gonna get $1 million, a piece for that fight. I don't know if they even try to make that fight like they was trying to make Shakur Stevenson, because even though Keyshawn and Shakur Stevenson respect one another, they say they'll never fight. Keyshawn doesn't have a name as big as Shakur Stevenson, and he's trying to get his first championship in the lightweight division, just like Martin. So it's not going to be a big money fight, man. You talking about like what, 80 to 100,000, or it's, something like that. It ain't gonna be for a championship either. So I don't know.
Isn't Keyshawn like 10-0 or something like that?
Yeah, it's something like that. You know what I'm saying?
He's still prospect.
I mean, but he has a huge push. Yeah, they have a huge push going for him over at Top Rank, though.
Yeah. He's nice, man. I like him.
Yeah, they got a huge push behind Keyshawn.
He's got the mouthpiece too. He
Yeah,
he
he
talks
does.
too. I like that.
He does.
He definitely gonna be able to sell fights. So I'm definitely looking forward to him in the future. But
Even
you
even
know what I
with
mean?
even with Keyshawn, he's been talking shit back and forth to Martin. So is
Mm-hmm.
this gonna be a
Mm-hmm.
fight where you're gonna say, well, I mean, he don't have a big. I mean, neither fighter are big ticket sellers. So are we gonna look at this fight as, oh man, that'll be a good potential matchup between these two or not?
Would you put
Like
would you put that on the undercard of a major fight?
a co-main, that can be a co-main, right? That can be a co-main of a main event. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It can be a
Like
co-main.
maybe if Loma and Kambosos fight, they could be the co-main or something like that, or like
Yeah,
the
I mean, it's a decent
next. Yeah,
co-main, man. Yeah, it's a decent co-main.
you know
Real talk.
what I'm saying? Because
I agree with that.
it brings more attention to him. Because there's gonna be more
Hell
people
yeah.
that's gonna obviously see Kambosos and Loma. So they're like, yo, man, who's this kid right here? I like this kid Keyshawn. Oh, I like this kid Frank. Let me check more out about him. And they, you know what I mean? The attention comes. So it'll
Oh
definitely
yeah.
be a big fight. Them as a main event alone now, that'd be a small venue. That wouldn't, yeah, it wouldn't sell. I think it'll do better as a co-main event at this point. You know what I mean? If they did fight. But that's definitely definitely a hell of a fight for Keyshawn on his resume. To have Frank Martin on there,
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. No doubt.
especially him just that's early in his career like that. Shit, hell yeah. Let me
Keyshawn
get that.
already have fighters. Keyshawn have fighters on his resume that has way more experience than he got. Really
Mm-hmm.
the fighter like Frank Martin, I think the only value that Keyshawn is going to get is the fact that he's signed with Man Down Promotion. He's undefeated, and he's a contender in the same division. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's all I can say on
Who's
that.
Keyshawn with? He's with Top Rank, right? Who's
Yep.
Keyshawn with? Top Rank?
Yeah.
Oh, see, Top Rank. They know how to, is this something about Top Rank? They matchmakers, man. They know how to bring that fighter up, man. They know how to bring them up. That's that experience, man. That's all them years they've been in boxing.
Mm-hmm.
Keyshawn got the names enough to where it's like he's 10-0, but it's like, oh damn, he fought this guy like him. He's, you know what I mean? He fought this guy who's 25-2, and he fought this guy who's 35-6. But I mean, it's good experience for him. And I like that he's working out with Bud and Floyd, so he's soaking up that knowledge too. Him and Shakur, they're gonna be dangerous, man. They probably end up crossing paths one of these days, though.
I mean, the
And
only
that
way
fight
they
is gonna be
cross paths if they fall out. You know what I'm saying? And right now they saying, hey, they like brothers. They never gonna fight each other. I mean, that's just we hear about that shit a lot, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like black fighters linking
yeah. But
up.
then
We see the
didn't
same
Shakur say
shit with the
something about
Charlos.
mhm.
We see the same shit with the Charlos and freaking Errol Spence when asked, hey, you ain't gonna fight your brother Mel Charlo, you ain't gonna fight Errol, let him get a shot at the titles. He was like, well, I'll vacate him. He want him bad enough, he can fight for him, So yeah.
But then also
ain't gonna
Shakur
fight,
said
man.
something about. But then also Shakur say something about like if the buddy's right, something like that. Did he say something like that or something like that? Well, I'll fight
Was
my
he talking
friend
about
if it's for
Keyshawn?
the right amount of money or something.
Was he
I'm
talking
not
about
sure.
was he
I mean,
referring to Keyshawn? I don't know.
I don't know, but I'm just assuming since we cool. If the bag is right, maybe he
I
would
heard the
generalize. I don't know.
Charlos say some shit like that or something.
Mm-hmm.
When it came to Spence, I heard Mel Charlo say that about Errol Spence. I heard I heard something to that extent with the Charlos.
I think I read something recently, not so long ago, about Shakur was like, even if for the right amount of money or something like that, he was like, I'll get in the ring with him if it came down to it, something like that.
Oh, okay.
Like if it's he didn't say no names and like that, but if it was like if it's somebody that I'm cool with or whatever, if it comes down to it, then yeah, we'll fight. Wasn't he
Yeah, I don't know if
wasn't
that
he
was
good friends with
Keyshawn though.
wasn't he good friends with Jamal Herring or something like that? when they fought?
Yeah, they was
Weren't they
good
homies or
friends,
something like that?
man. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, he was good friends with his
yeah.
family, all that shit.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm pretty sure his relationship with him was probably closer than what Keyshawn's is. But we don't know the history of why until they fought, whatever. So, I'm just guessing. But I mean, if he fought him, I don't think he would have an issue fighting Keyshawn. I don't think Keyshawn would have an issue fighting if it came down to it. I mean, I know personally me, I would. I'd be like, look, if it's me and you, WCS, and we had to fight, like, hey, my homie, I'm gonna love you regardless, but I want them belts. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm here for.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of it's like it was like Creed 3. He walked into that motherfucking did you see Creed 3?
yeah, absolutely.
With remember the scene when he walked in and he walked into his pool room, he's talking to him, he saw the belts on the wall, and that's when he finally told him, yo, I want to fight you. Like that's
Yeah,
how I'll be. I'm
yeah.
like, man, I'm tired of coming over. I'm tired of coming over playing pool, seeing these fucking belts on your wall, bro. Like I
I
need
thought
them
he
belts, man.
said
Let me get that.
I thought he said he want the belts. He want to be a champion. He want to come for the
Mm-hmm.
belts.
Mm-hmm. You talk about you got my
See,
life.
see, Michael
I want the belts.
Michael B. Jordan should have just stole on him right there in his house in front of his kid. Say, don't you ever come up in my house, goddamn, talking about you want the belts that I got right now. You know what I'm saying?
That's fucked. I let
I
you hold
invite
one
you
for a
around
second.
my family. You know what I'm saying?
My belts, motherfucker.
But look, the truth be told, though, Carlos. Truth be told, I don't think I don't think Jamel Herring was as tight as Keyshawn was to freaking Shakur Stevenson. I'm just taking a guess. I think they kind of grew up a little bit, the younger days. You know what I'm saying? Together or whatever.
Okay. I
don't think he had a tighter relationship with Jamel Herring than that. I think when it came to B&B, them training over there, it was respect and everything. But yeah.
I hear what you're saying. And plus they around the same age, so it's more relatable. They get, you know what I mean? So yeah, I hear what you're saying. But like I said, I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised if one day they have to get it on. And it's like, hey, both of them got the same division and both of them got 2 belts. What you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Somebody gonna leave and vacate or you gonna fight? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't know. But WCS, man, my Eagles about to play. I'm about to get out of here, man. I enjoyed the talk. I couldn't stay for that long. I wish I could, but
yeah, for sure,
my boy
man. It's always it's always a pleasure, man. Appreciate you pulling up, man. Enjoy that football. It's football Sunday. You know what I'm saying?
Salute to everybody in the chat. Everybody, man, enjoy y'all Sunday. I hope your team's doing well today. I know everybody can't win, but just enjoy your day, man. Salute, y'all.
Yeah, you already know, man. Salute, bro. Martin King said, yeah, they got me, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. But it'll be back sooner or later, you know what I'm saying, down the road or whenever that's happening, you know what I'm saying. That's all I can say to that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna hype on the real talk, but yeah, for sure. But like I don't be putting it out there. Like whoever wanna donate to the channel, man, you always got the super chat out there. I mean, not super chat, the Cash App, whatever. But super chat should be back. A couple months down the road or whatever. You know how it is. That's why it'd be crazy. I try to tell people, like, you don't have no ownership of this platform. They can do whatever. It's people always trying to plot on your demise and everything, and they want to contribute to that, even though they didn't help you build it. You know what I'm saying? They always want to complain about certain things, but it's all good, man. But I'm gonna go check out some football myself, man. Y'all hold this down. And shout out to Martin King Boxing in the building. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else, 86 Boxing was in the building. Appreciate y'all pulling up. You know what I'm saying? NONAME on deck. Javier Tyrese was on deck in the building. Salute to y'all. Man, we should do it again, man. Big shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game. A-Side official, man. You already know. Peace. Salute. I'm out.
Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss. Now you counting stars. Should've practiced more. Should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, subscribe.